He's got hands, he's got speed, and he's with us today. Myles Garrett, all the way from Cleveland. Welcome to the show. And before we even start, I want to say a huge congratulations on being named the Browns Man of the Year.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor.
How much does that mean to you to get that nod, especially from your team?
It's outstanding. Something that you inspire to do or aspire to do more than, I guess, anything else. Defensive Player of the Year, that's what you want to do as a defensive player, but as a man and as just a human being, you want to give your best, for everyone around you. And that's just being, this award's being recognized for, doing your absolute best and being a positive influence and change for your community, your people, and your surroundings.
Myles, this isn't new to you, of course. You've always given back to the community. What are you most proud of the work you've done off the field?
I'm most proud of the people I've been able to bring on and the people I've been able to meet. It's been a pleasure to meet so many new people, to help them, whether it's here, whether it's back home in Texas or in Tanzania. It was amazing. It was just a joy to be able to rap with them, to sit and share stories. No matter the difference in culture or the language barrier, they were just happy to be around us. Because that kind of feeling, that kind of connection, it spans all borders and lines and cultures.
To everyone at home, I know he goes after your favorite quarterback probably every Sunday, but a reminder there that he makes up for it off the field by giving back to the folks back in the community. Speaking of getting after quarterbacks, let's look ahead to Monday night. This is a huge game. By the way, Ravens-Browns is our total access game of the week. I'm going to keep it real with you, Myles, because I feel like we always can do that. It was rough that first week for you guys, but I feel like now we're in a whole other universe, let alone a whole other week in the NFL. Feels a little different watching from here. How does it feel like to you going up against this opponent again?
Yeah, things changed a little bit. They jumped on us that first game. We needed a little bit of time to mesh and get it all together, and we're starting to really have a cohesive unit. And they're bouncing back, and they got a lot of guys back from the previous weeks, and they're still a very tough team and a very aggressive on offense and defense. They're one of the best on both sides of the ball. And it's going to be a great matchup.
Don't forget, the Browns have won 4 in a row, if you're keeping track at home. I know I am. Myles, meantime, you have 10.5 sacks this year. We know that Lamar is difficult to defend. What is it that you need to do in order to sack him?
Got to corral him. This guy, he loves to extend plays, and that's more of a chance for us. A lot of teams look at it as more of a hindrance, having to chase this guy and keep him in the pocket. But when you do, there's only so many places he can go to. So you knock back at the guard, the tackle. You have everybody up on him. That takes away his running ability and one of his key skills. So we just have to keep him where we want him, not allow him to get downfield with his legs or extend plays and find somebody open. You keep him in the pocket, make him make those big time throws, and you have a tackle or a guard sitting in his lap. Then it's a whole different game.
Ooh, okay, so listen, we mentioned those 4 wins in a row. You guys are going for your 10th win of the season. But every week, Myles, I feel it's like, all right, well, let's see the Browns do it again. All right, let's see them prove it to us one more time. What is different about this Browns team right now?
I think every team has to do that, no matter who you are. You don't get any passes on the next game. Nobody's assuming you're gonna win every game unless you're Pat Mahomes. So you go out there, you're trying to prove yourself every time you step out there. Your resume is written every time you step on the field, and we're just trying to show that we're the team to beat every time we're out there on Sunday, Monday, or Thursday.
Ooh, any day of the week, any given Sunday. In your case this week on Monday night against the Ravens. Myles, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you. We'll be looking very closely to our total access game of the week. Time now for the bucket list presented by KFC, Mike Rubb, and David Carr. Listen, guys, we have to pick all of these games. I was going through some of these. Some of these were really tough to decide on. So I want to hear, as you deep dive into this, what are some of your must-see matchups this week, especially on Sunday? Rob, start us off.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that, go with the game that we just finished talking to a player that's playing in Myles Garrett. Like, I'm looking at Patrick Queen, linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, going up against those running backs of the Cleveland Browns and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I mean, Patrick Queen, he's all over the place, but early on in the season, he had issues with big offensive linemen getting up in his face and trying to shed and make the tackle. And I think earlier in the season he got exposed. And then when you look at Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, not only do you got to know where these guys are going to be at in the running scheme, and they do a great job running outside zone, but also when you get to them, there's a physical encounter. You have to actually tackle them. Nick Chubb, he's always leaning forward, always pushing forward, always falls forward. And then Kareem Hunt, I think, is the closest thing to beast mode that I've seen in the National Football League. Again, a tough tackle. So that's the matchup that I think is going to be one of the deciding factors of this game.
I like that. That's a great game. There's a great challenge being presented to a young quarterback also that I'm going to look for. Jalen Hurts is going to have to play the New Orleans Saints, and that's not easy. I mean, you're talking about replacing Carson Wentz, and, sometimes it's easy to come off the bench and you go in there and you play loose and excited. But, man, I thought he did a good job. He's going to have to do some of this against New Orleans. You got four guys up here showing pressure, who's coming, who's dropping. You're going to have to decipher that. They end up getting you here. You got a free rusher in your face, but how can you cover that up? You find the one-on-one matchup. You put some air into the ball. Nice throw with guy barreling down on him. Great throw down the field. And the other thing that he did, and I noticed this a lot when he went in the game, and this happened a lot in Philly, honestly. You talk about not having a lot of help. Carson Wentz went through a lot of this also. But you got a two-man route, basically, into, 7 guys dropping out. You got some checkdowns there, but you can't panic. And he didn't panic. And he moved around, and he used his legs, stepped up, made a couple guys miss, ended up getting a first down. So if he can do some of that, he's going to have to. Quite honestly, against the Saints, he's going to have a lot on his plate. And if he can utilize his legs, he can make some big throws. He's got a chance to help spark this football team.
I love that you showcased his mobility there, David, because when you're going up against a defense like the Saints, guys like Cam Jordan trying to get after him aggressively out there, it's not an easy task whatsoever. But guess what? It's the NFL. That's how it goes. All right, David and Emrob, thanks. Speaking of that game, New Orleans can actually clinch the NFC South Division. Of course, they already clinched a playoff berth, but this is how they do it. With a win or with a Tampa Bay loss or a New Orleans tie and a Tampa Bay Bucks tie. Here are some other games that we picked this week. Almost fully in agreement against that Colts Raiders game. I'm the only one taking Indy there. All of us are taking the Saints and the Falcons and Green Bay. Little splitsies there. Emrob, the only one taking the Niners against Washington. That last game there, Green Bay and Detroit. Green Bay clinches the NFC North division title with a win and a Minnesota loss. They can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Cardinals loss this weekend, or with a win and a Seahawks win.